Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my potential transfers for Double Game Week 25 and also how I'm currently getting on in Game Week 24. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment what are your plans for the next game week, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, Game Week 24 hasn't gone too bad. I did take a hit though, so I'm technically on 71 points instead of 75. But if you watched my video, my final team selection video for Game Week 24, I was very, very close to playing the wildcard button. I didn't do it in the end. A few people in the comments were like, you should definitely do it. A few people were like, just take a hit. You know, you'll definitely prefer to have it later. I ended up not doing it because I just couldn't really decide on my team. There were like certain players that I wanted. There were certain players that I didn't want to lose. And so, yeah, I didn't do it in the end. And I'm quite fortunate that I didn't do it because if I did pull the trigger, I wouldn't have had Saka. I might not have played Gabriel. And that's where, like, most of my points came from. But yeah, currently on 75, technically 71 because of the -4. My transfers for Game Week 24 was Kabore out, Virgil van Dijk in, and then I also got rid of Salah for Diogo Jota. I wanted to get rid of Kabore anyway because he's lost his spot. He's going to be blanking in 26. I know that obviously Van Dijk's also going to be blanking, but I just wanted to get Kabore out of my team. And then obviously with the Salah news that he's probably not going to be playing the double, I thought it was an easy swap, a bit of a no-brainer to go down to Jota. But anyway, let's take a look at how I currently got on. So Martinelli with 2 points. Obviously they did concede 2, but he did make 3 saves. I didn't see him make 3 saves, so I don't know where that extra save point came from, but I'll gladly take it. Porro with another 2 points. Again, I don't really like Porro being in my team, but he does play in 29. I know he blanks in 26, but I just don't really see the point of getting rid of him because I feel like now I've committed to a wildcard 30, a game week 30 wildcard, should I say, and so I'm going to need like Spurs players and, you know, obviously just players that don't blank, so that's probably why I'm not going to be getting rid of Porro. Gabriel, absolute hero, big 12-pointer. Obviously Saliba did the exact same, but Gabriel just can't stop scoring, man. I absolutely love him in my team. Again, it would have been a massive differential if Saliba didn't do crazy bits. But a lot of people, I guess, don't have him because he's still like 50% owned, like effective ownership. So, yeah, obviously it was really, really helpful for the rank. And then, yeah, Van Dijk, unfortunately, only picking up 2 points. Now, the reason that I went for Van Dijk over Trent, I could have just got Trent. I just had the money, and I nearly did it, but I decided not to, just because I thought that Van Dijk was the safer option. And, you know, they both started, but unfortunately, you know, Trent did come off with that knee injury again. Whether he's going to be okay for the double, I'm not too sure. But, yeah, I'm expecting Van Dijk to obviously play the Burnley game and the 2 in the double. And then he's probably going to play the final as well. But as well as that, like, who else are they going to play? You know, they've got so many injuries now, and he's just cheaper. You know, I went over all of the reasons that I wanted to go with Van Dijk over Trent in, like, the last video, but I was also going to always take a hit either this week or next week regardless, just to get another double game week player. I thought I'd do it this week because Burnley at home is obviously a fantastic fixture, instead of just taking the hit next week. On paper, I probably shouldn't have done it. I mean, I would have played Dan Burn or Estepinian regardless. Probably Estepinian, who obviously got 0 and Dan Burn got 1. It was quite nice to see that Dan Burn didn't lose his spot and also Estepinian started. That's given me a little bit more confidence for game week 26. But yeah, like I said, I was going to take a hit regardless, either, you know, game week 24 or game week 25. So I thought I'd do it for the Burnley fixture. It didn't work, but at the same time, I would have been taking a hit next week regardless. So yeah, that's the defense. Yeah, not great, but obviously Gabriel being a massive hero there. The midfield not doing too bad at all. Diogo Jota picking up 7 points. Foden picking up 3. Palmer still yet to play. So if Palmer can get a goal tonight against a very leaky Crystal Palace, we could be pushing 80 points. But obviously I do need to get a big 9-pointer to be able to do that. And then Saka getting 15 points. Absolute hero. Like, his numbers have always been good, but now he's getting the actual goals and the assists and stuff like that. So yeah, I can't see myself getting rid of him. They've also got Burnley coming up and stuff like that. He obviously took a penalty, which was really nice. So yeah, midfield hasn't done too bad at all. Obviously two returns for Saka, 1 for Diogo Jota, nothing for Foden, but hopefully Palmer can do something as well. Then up top, Haaland with the captaincy, 26 points. He's had so many price rises now. It's like 14.4, which is just ridiculous because he's still not as owned as he was before the injury, and he's gone up like 0.4. So yeah, ridiculous. If you don't have Haaland, it's just going to be harder and harder to bring him back. Watkins picking up 2 points, had so many chances. I watched that Villa game, and my lord, he had so many chances. He was really unlucky. Like, some of them, they just went straight to Onana. But yeah, I mean, Onana made some pretty good saves, but at the same time, he could have really, really helped. I mean, he's still really highly owned around my rank, but I know a lot of people also got rid of him. So Would have been nice for him to haul. And then Solanke picking up that assist as well, 4 points. Obviously not the greatest fixtures coming up for Solanke, but he's probably just a bit of a hold for me now. I mean, I could get rid of him for Nunes, but at the same time, I'd be getting rid of a player that plays in Game Week 26 for a player that doubles, and obviously is Nunes going to play both? I'm not sure. But yeah, obviously I got the 4 points from Solanke, which was quite nice. But up top, obviously, it's you know, Haaland, the machine, getting some points. The bench nearly went well. Obviously, Turner got 0, Estepinian got 0, and Burn got 1. But Douglas Luiz getting a goal and getting max bonus, even though they lost. Obviously, I was never going to play him over Watkins, because that would have just been a rank killer if Watkins did great. But it is annoying seeing that 10-pointer. So, I mean, if Palmer doesn't want to turn up tonight, then that's absolutely fine, because I get a 10-pointer off the bench. But I don't know, I feel like Palmer's going to do bits against Palace. You know, Palace are not good at the moment. If the Chelsea shows up that beat Villa, then I think that, yeah, they could definitely be a bit of a, definitely be a bit of a goal fest. But either way, quite happy with the game week, obviously up to 15k. Hopefully, with a goal from Palmer tonight, that goes up a bit higher. But yeah, all in all, not a bad game week. A green arrow once again. That's back-to-back green arrows. I don't think I can get a red arrow from this point. There's not really any other players from Chelsea or Palace that are like super highly owned. So yeah, should be okay. But yeah, 71 points, because obviously the hit, and then moving into obviously the double. Moving on to my transfers though, obviously I've got a little bit of money in the bank now. I've got like 2.6 mil or something like that. It will say it on the screen somewhere. And I've got, at the moment, I've got 4 doublers, I think. I've got Van Dijk, Diogo Jota, Foden, and Haaland. So yeah, I've got 4 doublers. I have 2 mil in the bank, obviously only 1 free transfer, so I'm going to be bringing in another player. It just makes sense that doubles, and it kind of has to be a player that is also going to play in like Game Week 26, so it's a bit of a tough one, because you want to bring in a City player, but there's so much rotation there, and you can't really... I mean, I could bring in a Liverpool player, but obviously they're going to blank in 26. Like, the easy one would be from Solanke to Darwin Núñez, because I have the money for that. He should hopefully play both, and it's a pretty nice double for Liverpool as well. So you'd expect like him to start and him to hopefully get something from that game, or those games at least. It just kind of hurts me in a blank Game Week 26, because as of right now, I have Porro blanking, Van Dijk blanking, Jota blanking, Palmer blanking, and is that everything? I think that's 4 players blanking, which obviously isn't that bad. So if I did bring in like another double game week that's obviously blanking in 26, that would be 5 players blanking. So that would be quite bad, because then I'd have to take like another hit to kind of field 11. So for me, it doesn't make the most sense bringing in like Darwin Núñez. For my team, it just doesn't make sense, especially when I've got like Dan Burn and Estepinian and players like that who are not going to play. So who are potentially not going to play anyway. So I'm going to keep Porro obviously for Game Week 29. I'm going to be obviously keeping Van Dijk and Diogo Jota because they double. So the only options really are to get rid of Dan Burn or Estepinian. Now, Estepinian's got Sheffield United away. He is obviously a bit of a benching option, which is a bit annoying. But apart from that, it'll be one of those 2 players that I get rid of. I'm kind of opting more towards a City defender just because they play in 26. It's just who's the most nailed. Ake has played like 90 quite a lot recently, and Walker obviously didn't start the last game. So is that because Walker's going to play the double? You know, because Ake's just played, is he then not going to play the double? Like, they're the 2 players that I'm kind of eyeing up. I have money to go to either of them. And like I say, I'm just dead-ending my team now into blank Game Week 29. I'm going to wildcard in 30. I've just kind of committed to that, and then hopefully just attack the doubles with my free hit and wildcard and everything like that for, you know, double Game Week 34, bench boost, everything like that. Obviously, I'm going to triple captain this game week as well, which is most likely going to be Haaland. But yeah, like I say, I'm just going to attack 28 and 29 with the doubles that are coming up, the blank game week, and then, like I say, just triple City, not triple Spurs, and, you know, triple Villa. I've already got that, so that's nice. So I've already got 4 players that do play in Game Week 29 that are guaranteed. So I need to, obviously, 2 more Spurs players. That'll be like 6 players, which will probably be like Son and maybe Maddison. 4 players like Diogo Jota and stuff like that. So obviously we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, this week I think it's either going to be Ake or Walker. It could also be a Luton player. I mean, they also blank in 26. It's just, I feel like a lot of people are jumping on these Luton players, and the double just isn't good for them at all. And I know people have gone like double Luton defense just to get 2 double game week players. But with a player like Estepinian, they could easily haul a lot more than like the Luton goalkeeper, you know. So I don't know, that's kind of where my head's at the moment with transfers. Obviously we'll see what happens through the week and stuff, but yeah, I think either Walker or Ake as of right now will be in the team for probably Probably Dan Burn. I mean, Dan Burn has an awful fixture in 26 regardless. Just going to have to put Dan Burn down as a terrible transfer. I had to bring him in to get Haaland regardless, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my transfers. Speaking about transfers, though, let's take a look at the most transferred in and out players so far for Double Game Week 25. So top of the list is Haaland. Obviously, did just score a brace, has a double coming up. A lot of people are going to be triple captaining. It's one of those weeks where if you don't triple captain Haaland, but you do captain him, you still need him to blank because his effective ownership is just going to be that high. I know a few people are like bench boosting this week as well that have obviously just wildcarded, which again is probably perfect for their team, but yeah, if you're not triple captaining Haaland for Double Gaming 25, you're going to hope that he blanks. But yeah, he's got nearly 300,000 players bringing him in, or managers bringing him in, and he's now up to 14.4. I think I bought him in for 14.1, and that was like 2 weeks ago, and he's already 14.4. And it wouldn't surprise me if he goes up to 14.5, just because of the sheer amount of people that are bringing him in now. So it's one of those, like, if you don't even have him, yeah, he is an absolute rank killer with everyone triple captaining. He's going to be like way over 200% effective ownership. And yeah, so if he gets like, you know, a couple of goals at least in those two game weeks, and yeah, in those 2 games, it's not going to be looking good. It's not going to be looking good. But either way, Haaland, most transferred in player for Double Game Week 25. Moving on, we also have Diogo Jota, who's also being transferred in by a lot of managers. Hopefully, he gets another price rise soon, just so I can make a little bit of money on him, because I lost a lot of money last night with like Solanke and Watkins, and I think a couple other players. I think Porro also went down in price, so yeah, I kind of need to make that back with some of these transfers. But yeah, Diogo Jota, obviously, with Salah out, probably going to get like 30 minutes in like that looting game, ready for the final. So yeah, I'm absolutely happy holding Jota, and then I'll be getting rid of him for probably, maybe even like a Son or something like that. He'll probably be a Spurs player 100%, whether that's Richarlison's Son or Maddison, I'm not sure, but most likely going to be Son. I think I definitely have enough money to go up to him, so that's definitely something I'm going to be looking at. And then Darwin Núñez, another player that is doubling. Again, yeah, just a really nice double. Obviously, you have to be wary that they are going to be blanking in 26. That's the thing. You have to be like just curious. Like, if you're not free hitting in 26, then obviously you have to always keep that in consideration, just because you're gonna maybe have like a really good team for Double Game Week 25, but then have like a really bad team for blank game week 26. But either way, Darwin being brought in by over 126,000 managers. Højlund, another player that's being transferred in a lot. I mean, he's obviously having a really, really good run of form. Like, don't get me wrong, 11, 10, 8, 6. But at the same time, he doesn't double. He has a nice game in 26 when obviously a lot of players are blanking, so I understand why people are bringing him in. And obviously, apart from the City game, he has some really, really nice fixtures, especially in like 29. But again, we don't know if these fixtures are on and stuff. Like, it's hard to bring in players for teams that you don't know if they're definitely playing. Whereas, you know, Villa's definitely playing, Spurs are definitely playing. Like, you can happily bring these players in, but other players, you know, obviously if United don't blank, that's an incredible fixture. A lot of people will be jumping on Højlund, myself included. And you can easily just like downgrade, you know, maybe someone like Haaland if there's like not a lot of money invested in him and stuff. But yeah, it's another player that a lot of people are bringing in. And then also Luis Diaz. Diaz is like, yeah, obviously still an okay option. I'd much prefer Jota and Núñez to him, but at the same time, he probably will play both of the double just simply because Salah is probably not going to. If anyone's gonna come off, then it's probably gonna be Diaz or Jota, you know. But again, I still only think Salah's gonna get like 30 minutes in the second game week. In the second game of the game week, just simply because he's coming back from a hamstring injury. Again, I kept Salah for a long time. It's not worked out. I didn't really lose that much money. I think like 0.2 maybe. So it's not even the worst thing in the world. But either way, like I say, a lot of the most transferred in players are going to be doublers. Interesting that there's not really that many City players there, though. No Brentford players, and also no Luton players either. But they are the most transferred in players for Double Game Week 25. Moving on, the most transferred out players for Double Game Week 25. I don't really know why Alvarez are getting transferred out by so many players. Like, it's not even like he's been missing fixtures. Like, even since Haaland has been back, you know, he has still played 90 and 76. So, you know, if I had Alvarez, obviously if I didn't have Haaland, I would be jumping up straight onto him. But if I did own Haaland already and I had Alvarez, I'd just keep him for the double. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, he might miss one of those fixtures. But, you know, so could Foden, so could De Bruyne. Like, all of these players that other people are bringing in could easily miss a fixture too. And you have a double game week player that, again, unless you don't have Haaland, I just don't really see the point of getting rid of him. But he is jumping down now. Like, a lot of people are jumping off ship and stuff, so it's interesting, but it is what it is. Solanke also falling down. He's had like 2 price drops now recently. Bournemouth are a bit out of form, to be fair. And again, they have Newcastle in the City. Obviously, after that, insane run, like, especially with the doubling in 20, like, it's just like a double game week from dreams. Like, maybe not triple Bournemouth, but definitely Solanke and maybe Senesi as well are going to be on a lot of people's radar. Maybe even like double Bournemouth defense. But yeah, I mean, it's just a ridiculous game week. And as well as that, they've got Burnley, Wolves, Everton, Palace, and Luton. So it's just a ridiculous run of fixtures, really. But either way, a lot of people are getting rid of him now because he's got Newcastle away and City at home. But at the same time, like Newcastle away, you know, they have conceded 4 to Luton. They conceded 2 more to Forest earlier on in the week. Like, I think it's just going to be... I think it's going to be a bit of a goal fest there as well. Watkins, another player that a lot of people are getting rid of. Understandable for players like Darwin Núñez and stuff like that, and Haaland. Obviously, they've got some really nice fixtures coming up. They do play in 29, and yeah, they obviously play in 26, and they've got a nice fixture in 26 as well. So that's why I'm keeping my triple Villa. There's no way I'm getting rid of them at all. And yeah, it's understandable why, just because people want to attack what's right in front of them with the doubles and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm not getting rid of Watkins at all. He's definitely staying in my team. Bowen, another player that a lot of people are getting rid of. I mean, I understand this one. I mean, the fixtures are still okay. Like, they've got Forest, Brentford, Everton, and Burnley. But at the same time, you know, there's just so many options there, like Foden, Jota, you know, Diaz, De Bruyne, a lot of players that are doubling, and people are just going to be wanting to jump on that instead of Jared Bowen. So completely understand why people are getting rid of him. And then last but not least, we've got Trent, who, again, I would not get rid of as of right now. I would wait and see. But, I mean, his minutes over the last 4 have been ridiculous. Like, 0 against Bournemouth, 22 against Chelsea, 57 against Arsenal, and then 45 against Burnley. He was having a really good game against Burnley as well, but obviously came off at half-time. I think Bradley could be a really good shout now as well. That might be another player that, like, a lot of people just jump on now. Again, it depends the extent of Trent's injury. But at the same time, like, he's going to be a really, really good option if he's back in the squad, obviously. But they are the most transferred in and out players so far for Double Game Week 25. Of course, this is where you don't want to make early transfers unless you get priced out, just because of midweek fixtures and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of swings, a lot of people triple captaining, a lot of people bench boosting, a lot of people taking hits. It's going to be all over the place. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Trying at 50 likes. Leave a comment. How are you getting on in 24? What transfers you're making for 25? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. But until next time, peace.